All right, Bobby, you're our intro guy.
Today is a special day, and today is a podcast where we talk about that special day. I'm Bobby Parker.
And I'm Joey Nickel.
Welcome to Today Is.
All right. Okay. Welcome to the podcast. I picked.
Joey's dying. He's been doing that since he arrived here at the studio.
I cannot get this cough to go away. Which is great for the special coming up.
Yeah.
I may try to make an appointment tomorrow to try to see if I can just get some steroids or something to get my voice back for Saturday. It's not going good for me right now. So I may end up with a special where my voice is especially deeper than usual.
Wow, that's something, because you naturally have a deep resonance. Mm-hmm. And I would like to say that as we're coming into our special, I do like the motif you're throwing into it, that you might die or go to prison.
Yeah.
Yep. So
yeah, for sure. But anyway, the special is coming up. So I wanted to pick a holiday that we could publish on Friday. So today should be Friday, because I wanted to be able to promote it, give it another day on the podcast to let everybody know about it. Our 6:30 show is sold out. 6:30 show is closed.
Sold
you
out.
cannot get tickets to the 6:30 show.
Cannot.
Do you have anybody that wants to go to the 6:30 show? They can't go. It's sold out.
Can't go. I have heard that some people are trying to scalp tickets.
So this is a common thing that happens. So you and Wes probably don't. You guys don't sell tickets as much as I do. That sounded like a brag. I run more shows than you guys do, so I know about selling tickets. Like especially like with comedy. Like I've done things with Comedy Zone and with especially with Nakati. I sell tickets there every month. So that is a thing. Scammers, like you'll see like some weird account that'll be like, "Hey, I got 4 tickets. I can't go to the show. Anybody want to buy them?" And then it's like, that's not even possible. Like, that's not even a thing. You can't resell an Eventbrite ticket. Like, what are you doing? Like, you can ask for your money back. You can't, like, resell it to somebody. That's weird.
Technically, this one, I hate to bring it up.
You are able to resell these?
If as long as you've got, like, the ticket that we emailed to you.
Sure, that's true.
Not?
Well, the way Eventbrite, well, I guess you could do it a couple ways, but the way I do it on Eventbrite is I check off their name. So, like, I click on their name, and then they have a certain number of tickets assigned to that name or the email address. And so I guess somebody could come, they could sell and say, just tell them this name, I guess. Technically, that could happen, but it's not, I don't know. It's like, first of all, this is a local comedy show at a community theater.
Yes.
It's like, who's buying scalp tickets at a local comedy show at a community theater?
I'll let you know the reason I set up our tickets like this, and I'm grateful that I did, is I have elderly parents, and they bought a block of tickets and sold them to their friends.
I see.
And it was
Sure.
easier for them to understand, here's a physical printed ticket.
Sure.
All
right, that makes sense.
Yeah, but
that makes sense.
So I'm bragging about me bringing in the old crowd,
right?
The elderly YMCA crowd.
I am interested to see our demographic for the show. Like, I mean, our families are going to be there, but I am interested to see like how many people are coming from the community. Like, I wonder how many people actually from like either from the area, from the Orange Park area, or from the theater community, or what. I wonder how that's going to go.
I do know of at least several people from the theater community
that are going to come,
that are coming out, that aren't scheduled to like work tech or things like that. Like they're making a specific effort to come out to see us.
Oh, nice.
So I'm very, very thrilled about that.
So I think we're at about, I would like for our, as of now, and I haven't looked in the last couple hours, as of now, I think we're about, I would like to double our numbers for 9 p.m. I think we're at like 35 or so.
Right.
If we could get up to 60, that would be awesome.
It would be amazing.
But if you're listening to this, please come to the show. Tickets are now half price for the 9 p.m. show if you want to come. Let me see. I think we sold a couple more since I looked last.
The 2 back rows are just blocked out. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Don't give me false hope. No, we definitely have more since. Yeah, the second row is more filled in. That whole third row's gone now. First row's gone. Well, one handicap spot left in the first row. So it's 1, 2, 3. So that's 9, 10 in the first row. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
This is
23,
like a
24,
Mr.
25,
Beast
26,
episode.
27,
You're just going to
28,
count.
29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. We're up to 37. I just now scroll to see if it shows me at the top, but it does not.
It does not. That functionality is somewhere in there. I lost it on this one when I was doing some of the pricing modifications, and then my laptop was stolen for a week.
Yeah.
So I didn't really jump back in and try to recreate stuff.
So 37 tickets. That's good. That's really good, actually. 37. But if we can hit 50 or 60, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So statistically, like we're over. I think like 50 plus per show. Like if we average things out, because I think we've got about.
Oh yeah, I think more than that. I think because we're almost at 40 on the second show, and we got to. I mean, we say sold out. We didn't sell like 105. Like we left a few open,
right?
For camera and stuff like that, because the capacity is 105. But we probably sold. How many did we end up selling? We probably sold like 8. I thought we sold like 80 though, or something.
Yeah,
85,
80 some,
80 some.
Yeah.
So
We're
doing. I think. I mean,
we beat what we set as a goal.
We beat our projections.
Yes.
For sure. Total.
Yes.
Our total number, we did definitely beat our projections. And we're definitely not going to lose any money on this.
Probably.
I mean, well, probably, yeah. I mean, we're not, I mean, I have put a lot of money into the equipment recently. Travis let me know that we should probably get a specific kind of tripod. I went ahead and bought it. It wasn't too expensive. It was like $40 or something like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
That wasn't bad. But I made sure I sent him the link to make sure I was buying the right one. So we got a special tripod. I bought another special tripod, not as nice as that one, for our crowd shot, which is going to be my phone. My phone's just going to be just sit there.
Okay. Hey,
and record the crowd shots.
We'll actually talk about that because I do have my GoPro that does high def that we can zoom in on.
I didn't think about that. My only concern is the length of time we're recording, because it's going to be unmanned. So like some cameras, digital cameras, stop recording after a certain amount of time, whereas my phone, as far as I know, I've recorded 2 or 3 hours on my phone without it stopping.
Okay.
So that'd be my only concern, is making sure it can record that long.
It goes until it runs out of power or it hits memory capacity. So we'll talk about it.
We can talk about that off air.
Yeah.
But so we'll see. But yeah, it's shaping up. My only concern is I almost wish we did like 2 weekends almost, where we did, and not even like, I almost wish we did like a dress rehearsal. You know what I mean? I almost wish we had a dress rehearsal.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
It doesn't really happen with stand-up comedy. You can't really do dress rehearsals.
The closest thing is I'm doing a show the night before where I'm also doing like the exact same time.
You're gonna do the same set.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I just wish like I could do my set on that stage.
Yeah. But the good news is we have every blessing to be there earlier than what the rental agreement says.
Great.
So
That's great.
we are able to get there. We're able to get everything set up.
Yeah.
We'll have at least the ability to walk through, not deliver our set, but get the physical feel, make sure where we want to come in from, all of those things before a crowd arrives.
That's great. Yeah, and I mean, and I don't know what time the tech guys are going to be there, but I mean, their jobs, we don't need them a ton just for a sound check, basically, and the lighting.
Right.
Which they should be. I mean, they know what they're doing, right?
Yes. Yeah. They absolutely know what they're doing. They usually have a much more difficult job because for us, it's just making sure the mic's on, and they're used to having like, okay, we're gonna cut this mic, we're gonna do this, we're gonna, set these lights and do these effects. Which, by the way, I didn't bring this up now because I have no idea what it's going to look like, but they said that they've been playing around with some like digital backgrounds for us.
Okay. What does that mean?
So they've got a screen in the very back, and they can project almost anything on there. But
I would rather not have a screen.
The
lighting's not good for that. Yeah,
that was my idea.
I just assumed we were going to have curtains, because there's two levels of curtains. I saw.
Yes, and a background and not a background, but like the stage setting stuff.
Right.
If we wanted that, but let me. Getting that, and then we also, I don't want to sound this to sound mean way, like mean or uncaring. We also have to make sure that everything works with Wes moving around stage.
Sure,
going backstage.
Absolutely,
we don't have things in his way.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, the space is great. That theater is really nice.
The first time I went in there to see a show, because when you first pull in, you're like, oh, this kind of looks like a weird old church, kind of like old house.
It doesn't look
it's nondescriptive,
like it's going to be a nice little theater.
And you go in and you're like, holy moly, this is really nice. Yeah. This is well done.
Somebody cared when they built it, and I guess the stage is fairly new, right? Like
they've done a lot of upgrades to it. Yeah. My understanding, like I don't know the history of it. The first time I saw a show there, I actually got on stage though. It was a show called like the American Trailer Park Story or something like that. It was a silly comedy that's about somewhere in Florida.
Okay.
And it like written for an off-Broadway production in New York by somebody from Florida, and they were putting it on. It was hilarious, but it was like dressed like a redneck night, and they'd pull you up on stage and you could win a prize. And I wore like a fake mullet and like one of my old concert T-shirts. And
all right.
And and I fell in love with the stage that night. Yeah.
All right. I'm really excited about it. It's gonna look good. The stage looks really good. It'll be a good show. But if you still are on the fence or you're still looking to buy tickets, we still have tickets available at 9 p.m. and you can go. That does look cool, but it's digital though. Like it's gonna be on a projection.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I'd rather have no words behind us unless it's our names.
Right.
Like we don't want a title to the show behind us necessarily.
Yeah, because we're all gonna have a different title for our special.
Yeah, right.
Like I've been kicking around some of the.
Yeah. What are you? I wanted to talk about it on the podcast. What are you? What are you kicking around for titles? Do you want to give any of that away, or are you?
So I've the tough thing has been finding the theme, which it sounds weird, but I'm like I've got a lot of material, and I'm like, oh, okay, what am I going to fit in here, and what's the through theme, and I think I'm going to call it the bariatric process.
Okay.
And a couple reasons for it. One. I think that I'm going to get clicks with it.
Sure.
That's going to be a huge one for me. But also a lot of it is going to be about me losing weight and the doctor visits and like the health struggles.
Yeah.
So I think that ends up being like the theme.
Sure.
So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but I'm not positive yet. What about you?
I've got a couple. So. When I recorded my album in a couple years ago in Savannah, when I did my album in Savannah, I part of me wanted to call it Morbidly Obese because that is a joke I have, but our church is trying to get the word out there that that's not the name of our church.
Right,
Like we're trying not to use the term Mormon.
LDS now?
Yeah, we're supposed to be getting the word out there, the whole thing. The
Yeah.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
We're supposed to be getting it out there because people, first of all, they think we're two different organizations, the Mormons and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We also, most people, and you don't see that around here much, but like in the West, a lot of people use the term Mormon as a blanket term. So like there's offshoots, like there's the polygamists and stuff like that. They call them Mormons too, when they're not really part of our church. They're part of a different church. There's another one in, there's like 3 or 4 different ones. There's like they call them there's one, the biggest one I think is called the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And they still practice polygamy, and they kind of live often on their own, a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a few of those groups. So, and they made a TV show about one of them, too. Actually, there's 2. Well, there's a reality show about them called Sister Wives.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of it. I don't.
And then there was an HBO show called Big Love that was about the polygamists.
Was that like Bill Paxton?
Bill Paxton was in it, yeah.
Okay.
Which actually, when the show came out, I was always like, I was a little like, I wasn't too happy about it because like people are gonna think that's me,
right?
Like people are gonna think the Mormons or the main church still practices that, but they don't. In fact, it's illegal, first of all, to practice polygamy if you legally marry somebody. A lot of these organizations get around it by they just get married in the church and they don't get legally married, so they don't get in trouble. But and some of these organizations, some of these organizations are not very good organizations.
Right?
There's child marriage and things like that. That's not good. And we try to distance ourselves from these people. So anytime something comes up like this in mainstream media, we're always worried about it because we're worried they're going to associate that with us. But actually, listening to interviews with Bill Paxton about it, I kind of felt like because he did research, he looked into it, and he was very, he really wanted people to know that this was not the main church. This was the what they based it off of was different, and he was very good about it. He was very knowledgeable in interviews and stuff like that, and he knew a lot of the history. And I was very happy to hear that he knew a lot of the history, not just of the offshoot, but of the main church and about Joseph Smith and Brigham Young and stuff like that.
Right.
And I don't know. I never watched the show, but
I haven't either.
I kind of I respected Bill Paxton for it. He was very, very good about being sensitive to the material, and I liked that.
Right, and that's one of those things where as an actor, as a creator, you have to kind of look at it, but also you've got to go into it like, man, I would never be a serial killer. I don't get them, but I'm willing to play one.
Right.
You have to be willing to step outside of what you would normally do, but it doesn't mean you endorse it.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, that's and honestly, that's the line we have to walk as stand-up comics. Ismo, the comic from Finland.
Yes,
I opened for him last year.
I got to do a guest set. He was super,
that's right. You did a guest set.
He was really cool guy. Very
cool guy,
interesting.
Good dude. Very interesting. But he has a bit about how comics can say things, and then it's like because you're just saying it, they automatically assume that you believe it or that it's true. It's like, but you can write a song about it and say the same words in a song, and nobody thinks you're that person. It's like some people are characters on stage and are saying things that aren't true, but I think people have a very hard time separating our material from our personal life, like thinking, I don't know. Yeah. I'm a character on stage, but I'm also pretty true to myself, but some people aren't. Some people are completely different on stage, and they're doing a character on stage. And just because you joke about something doesn't mean you endorse it, or doesn't mean that you you actually feel that way. I don't know. That's a hard one to explain. I guess.
So this brings up a conversation. Like, as much as I strongly encourage the people of our audience not to go to this comedian's website at all if you are easily offended. But the comedian Jim Norton.
Yeah. Boy.
Oh yeah.
Don't.
He's.
Yeah. If you're a fan of us and you like clean comedy, I would recommend never even looking up who Jim Norton is.
Right. However, he is such a proponent for free speech and makes wonderful points when people talk to him about, hey, you talk about this on stage and it's so inappropriate, and he's like, I'm making a joke.
Yeah,
it's a joke. You're willing to laugh at it. Are you like one person had a big concern about him talking about a really awful thing, and he's like, well, on your Facebook page or Twitter account or whatever it was, you're like the biggest fan of Jeff Goldblum. He played a predator of the really worst kind in a movie.
Yeah.
He's like, how can you be a fan of him, because he pretended to be that, like in a movie. I'm making a joke about it, an absurdity.
I'm making a pretend also.
Yeah.
But it is hard. I understand, and he's absolutely right, but I do understand it is hard to separate the pretend from the person when you're watching them on stage. In their minds, they're watching you say things.
Yep.
So, another thing that always gets me is, like, especially if you work a club for a long time, like we have at Comedy Zone, or even or at Jackie Knight's or wherever, the staff starts to think of you very familiar.
Yep.
You know, a bartender or a waiter or whatever will knows a lot about you because you've talked about it a lot on stage. So like they treat you like they're your friend, like they know you, and you're like, I don't even know that person's name. Like I feel bad sometimes.
Oh, I feel terrible about that. Like, and I will usually recognize the face, say hello. When I'm at a club for a weekend, I go out of my way to like stop and like get donuts or like cookies or something like that to bring in for the staff, because they're awesome, and it's always good to get in good with the staff. Like,
it is good to get in good with the staff, and I don't know if most clubs listen to their staff or not, but I know that some do, and when there's a positive vibe, a positive response coming from the staff, some clubs, it's the owners notice that. The owners or the managers will notice that.
Right, and that could be all the difference. Like, hey, it's a decent selling week, but not the best. But oh, hey, that was a really good guy.
Yeah.
Like, if we know we're gonna have another week where we can't get like the super big guy, hey, like at least
we'll get the super big guy.
Yeah. Not as super big.
Not as super big as you used to be.
No.
Somebody recently said, I think it was Bobby Brown Jr. who we were at. He was because he left for 6 months or a year or something, and he came back and he's like, he couldn't believe you were half the person.
Yeah.
You were half the size.
Yeah, he was like a flight attendant or something.
Was he?
I don't know. That's what stands out to me. I could just be making that up. He could be in prison or dead. I don't know.
Most people are.
Yes.
According to this podcast. Yeah. It's there's something else I was going to say about writing. Anyway.
This completely going back to the previous thing. I knew about the distinction of the name trying to go more LDS or the full name Church of Latter-day Saints. I'm probably getting it wrong there. From a action novel that I read. Seriously, like
what was the novel?
I think it's called Lions of Lucerne. And it's a guy is a Secret Service agent, and the president is kidnapped, and it happens in Utah, and it starts off there and ends up going across the world. But yeah, he was talking to somebody there locally, and he's like, oh, and it's like, you know, like, hey, I know that I need to ask him this way, and like, you know,
I see,
and it's like, you know, it's like, oh, I was not not aware of that. I had to have read that before I met you.
So we so I took a class called what was it called? I forget what it was called, but it's called like LDS film or something. I went to film school at BYU.
Right.
So and there was a class that was like specifically about, and it covered films made by members of the faith, members of the church.
Right.
And it also covered films made by the church, and it also covered films about the church made by people who aren't part of the church. So, like, any film that heavily would mention us or something like that, or be about us. So there were a few films that we would discuss. There are a few filmmakers that I really like that were members of the church. There's Richard Dutcher was one of the most well-known at the time. He made a film about being a missionary, and then he made a couple of those, and he made a film about a guy who was a bishop and a sheriff in Brigham City.
Okay.
And he had to investigate a murder in Brigham City as the bishop and the sheriff. So there's that. That was pretty good. It was called Brigham City. And then there's other like fun ones, like kind of. I feel like faith-based filmmaking, there's a lot of just dumb stuff out there that's like direct-to-video. Like
there's a lot of direct-to-video, and where it's not only not high quality, it seems to like just not have great writing.
Yeah. I would say that when it comes to films, so when our church makes a film, so there is what's called the LDS Motion Picture Studio, and I worked there for a while when I was in film school. It's on BYU. It's in Provo, but it's not on BYU campus. But the LDS Motion Picture Studio, when they make a film, it's not like, I always feel like when I see these Christian-y movies or these faith-based movies, they always seem to be like way too much propaganda rather than like making a good film. They care more about making the propaganda than they do about good filmmaking or good writing. That's my biggest gripe about Christian movies, or quote unquote Christian movies. And then a lot of it too is just like cultural things where it's like, well, that's not Bible based. That's just like your belief system in a culture that's governing what you're saying in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like movies about the Bible. Like, there's some great Bible-based movies out there. Charlton Heston and the Ten Commandments is a classic.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Ben-Hur even is a. I know that the character's not in the Bible. The guy Ben-Hur is not in the Bible, but it takes place in the New Testament time. He meets Jesus in the movie and stuff like that. There's some good ones out there. King of Kings is a great film.
Yeah. So I recently got a subscription to Angel Studios.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Now they have some good ones.
They do.
I would say when it comes to faith-based platforms, Angel is not bad. Like, there's some good ones in there.
I did it very specifically because they bought Dry Bar.
Yes. So they've been working they were working together for years, and now I think it's finally they're all one entity.
All one. And I'm like, you know what? There's enough of these movies in here that I'm going to make it worthwhile. But and as much as I try not to watch other comedians a lot, there's a couple things I'm like, I want to have a better idea on this process or how people do this. And I feel like I'm at the point now where I can watch somebody and not be as influenced other than like, hey, that's a good way to go from A to B.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think me too. I'm at the point where I'm not going to accidentally tell one of their jokes. But Angel's not bad. Angel, I think the difference between Angel and some of these other faith-based platforms is Angel, I think their motivation, or not motivation, but like what they're trying to do is they're trying to make family movies. They're just trying to make good movies that the families can watch.
Yes.
Whereas, and some of them are faith-based, but like it's just we just want to make a good movie, and I think it's kind of working okay. Like as far as like the film community has been okay with some of these films. Like I know that a lot of faith-based production companies, the film community at large is just like, these are garbage. Like, these are not good movies, and they're all propaganda, and it's bad acting. But they're actually trying to make good movies that aren't necessarily hit you on the head faith stuff. They're just trying to make family-centered movies.
Right. Like there's a comedian that I've worked with in the past. I've met a couple times, and he's actually also done the surgery and lost a lot of weight. So he's stealing my bit, obviously. But he's recently been in a couple things with like Dean Cain, which unfortunately I'm like, oh, that probably means it's not very good.
I know Dean. Now, yeah, the problem with Dean Cain is he went that. The problem is that, and I think we're at the end of that era of like, and I don't mean Dean Cain. I mean like in general, there was a good stretch there where actors would just, they weren't able to get work, and then they'd go the faith-based route because they had a name, and these little production companies were like, oh yeah, we got Superman to be in our movie, and they're terrible movies. Like, they're just not very well made direct-to-video movies. And I think we're just getting out of that now, where people are like, well, we can make good movies. Like I think Angel Studios has paved the way to be like, we don't have to make these
and
weird home movie looking movies.
Yeah.
Although there was that one baseball movie he did that didn't look too bad.
He's done I'm sure plenty, but the just perception.
But he's not. The problem is that they and what's his name went down that path too. Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people like him still. A lot of people like his faith-based movies, but they're not very good movies in my opinion.
I like the idea of them, but they're not well made.
They're not well made.
This is kind of a tangent, but you brought up the BYU Film School, the films. And I was thinking about it. Have you watched any of America's Dumbest?
No, what's that?
It's a new TV show. It's a game show / reality show.
I think I heard about this
with John Heder.
Yes, yeah.
You know what? He's fantastic.
Is he?
He is fantastic.
He's great. I'm glad he's back.
Yes.
What I'm guessing happened is his kids are growing up now, because I think that's what happened. He decided to kind of step away and kind of live a normal life while he was raising his kids.
Yes, and like it is called like America's Dumbest. There are smart people on there.
Yeah.
And
I've heard about this.
And
yes.
some people like are like, there's obviously different kinds of smarts.
And isn't the idea, the dumber you are, the longer you stay on the show, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
I gotta watch it.
You're competing to leave as early as you can.
Yeah.
Now I'm giving this away a little bit. We're like 2 or 3 episodes in. He's still there, but he does not come across as dumb in any stretch of the imagination. At least in my mind, he might be low key the funniest person on the show,
really?
With a lot of other really funny people. So I was so impressed with it.
He's always been super funny, and I always wish he had been in more stuff. But he wanted to kind of live a simple life for a while.
Yeah.
But hopefully he's getting his toe back into it, and he's doing more stuff.
What I think is the coolest thing about it, and I don't think I'm ruining this for you. Ice-T is on there, and absolutely loves him.
Yeah.
he's like I've watched Napoleon Dynamite all the time, man. It's like Ice-T watching Napoleon. That seems like just a really fun thing to me. Yeah.
You know what's funny is he has a twin brother.
I knew that, and I know
there's
that
two of those guys out there.
Yeah.
Well, do you mind if I grab those tissues?
No, I'll grab them for you.
Okay, thank you. I've just been sneezing like crazy. Thank you. It's great podcast material.
Yeah, I would like to say we are here at the B Studio. That's what I call this place because my name's Bobby. And it starts with B, and we're the I feel bad because I knew that you were having allergies and some kind of like a coffee thing going on, like coughing, not coffee. And I did not offer you tissues until you asked for them. So I feel like a bad host, and I'm just bringing this up because it's filler. And
It's all right.
yeah, that's we'll fix it in post.
We won't.
We won't. We never do.
I never do anything.
Yeah, it's
The only thing I've ever changed. What did I do? Oh, Amir swore, and I did go back and fix that.
okay.
I did
Good.
bleep that out. I did cut it out. I think that's the only editing I've done on the podcast as far as a full length recording and going back to edit something.
Which, by the way, I did catch a swear word on one of the dry bars.
Oh, really?
I did.
It got through?
It got through. It was an
funny.
off the cuff thing, but I'm like, I know I heard that, and I rewound
funny.
it. I'm
How'd
like,
that get through?
I did, and it certainly was not malicious.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, and what's funny is, and I've talked to people who are not clean comics, but they do the dry bar. You know, they can do clean, so they do a dry bar. But the thing that they don't take into consideration when they're doing it, and when they find out about it, they have to. It can be tough for them. Is they also don't let you say the Lord's name in vain.
Right. Yeah.
So there's like people that are like, oh well, I didn't know we were doing that. Like, so I've talked to comics that have really had to work hard to rework their way they deliver things so that they didn't.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it. That's a tough thing. Was the one guy who's done maybe the most shows on there now, Shane Smith.
Yeah, he's done a lot.
He was not a clean comedian, but agreed to do the first one, and it's like, hey, this really works. And from what I understand, he's like really turned his life around.
Yeah, he used to have some trouble. Actually, I kind of know him.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he actually was already doing comedy when I lived in Provo, and he was like a kind of a regular at Wise Guys there. Which is what is now Dry Bar. Like the old Wise Guys Club in Provo is now Dry Bar.
Okay.
So I knew Shane Smith before he started doing Dry Bar, and he kind of blew up from like that was the first thing he did, and he kind of blew up. And then they came to Jacksonville. They came and did the Comedy Zone as Dry Bar. So they did when Dry Bar was still like. When there were still only like
it was still a novelty.
It was still
almost.
novelty. Like there was only like maybe 10 or 15 of them, and they picked like 5 Dry Bar guys and went on tour with them. And one of them, Shane Smith, is probably the biggest name from that group of 5.
Right.
The other one was what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Nate Bargatze. Oh, no.
The other one was Jim Gaffigan. No, I can't remember the other guy's name, but he's the other one that has kind of become famous. Now, the very first Dry Bar ever was Kellen Erskine,
right?
Which he's got his own. He's got a pretty good name now, but
and is a podcast regular on here.
Yeah, well, yeah, if we can get the recording.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Shane Smith. Where are we going with this? Oh, I actually like that he does clean. Like, he does clean for those. I actually think it's funnier when he's doing clean because he uses words. Like, he's not a clean comic normally.
He wasn't. He is now.
He is now.
Yeah.
But, like, I like the contrast of him saying, because he has a kind of all shucksy delivery.
Yes.
And G Willikers kind of delivery, and he's got all these tattoos, and he looks like a weirdo.
Yeah.
And I think it works. I think the contrast of that works. And super funny dude, super cool dude.
He is. I will legitimately say it. He is one of the few comedians who I've actively gone out and found sets of. To watch, where I'd be like, you know what, I would go out of my way just to hang out with him.
Yeah. Because
I think it would be a super interesting night of just talking and hanging out and seeing what happens. I'm not as much of a social creature as most other people are.
Yeah, but he would be a good hang.
Yeah, he would be a super cool. He just great conversation, like Dusty Slay would be a guy I'd want to hang out with because he seems like he's going to have the conversation that can go anywhere.
I will say, hanging out with Dusty Slay, he definitely has a persona on the podcast,
Right.
And people have gotten to know that persona. And I will say his real persona is very similar, but he definitely puts up a few barriers for the podcast persona, and it is kind of fun to hang out with him and see some of those barriers go down a little bit.
Yeah, he does come across a bit more of a character.
Yeah,
and
no, a lot of it's very true.
Still him, but
a lot of it's definitely a version of him
Yes.
on the podcast or on stage. But yeah, and in fact, it's funny now. It just sounds like I'm sucking up to him, but I actually think he might be the smartest one on the podcast. He's not as educated.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have the schooling, but he's a very smart,
very
individual.
intelligent, and he's very smart. And he plays dumb on the podcast a lot. But I actually feel like he's one of the smart. I think he's the smartest one on the podcast. Obviously, Aaron and Brian both went to college, and they have more education, so there's some knowledge there that he doesn't have. But I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I think he's the smartest one on the podcast.
And they're
Certainly smarter than Nate Bargatze, because that guy's an idiot.
I mean, he's
real doofus. That guy, Nate Bargatze.
I think you forgot an important word with Nate is savant.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't disagree with that. I feel like he is a kind of a savant.
Yes,
comedy.
like he knows what he knows. He knows he's good at it and intuitively solves problems.
Yes, yes, Nate Bargatze is a very, very intuitive comic.
Yeah,
very intuitive.
He knows what, like, hey, this is the right thing to do, long term path, and I'm willing to take this risk to do it.
Yeah.
Dusty comes along, I think very similar to that, and
I think Dusty. This is the difference between Nate and Dusty. Is Nate is empire building, and everything he's doing, he's working off of his gut and his instinct, and it's been right so far.
Yep.
Except for a couple missteps, which we can talk about off the air, involving sporting events that he appeared at. But I will say, most of what he does is pretty correct as far as instincts and his empire building and his Nate Land Presents brand and all that. All that's good, and I realize a lot of that is surrounding himself with good people,
right?
And stuff like that. Dusty, I feel like, has just always been about the work. Like, he's always been about having a good. He's always wanted to be good at talking and good at telling those stories and good at being on stage. And then everything he's kind of Dusty's a little bit single-minded in a good way, and then he also is able to surround himself with a good manager and a good business manager and a good and stuff like that. In fact, I met his business manager, great guy,
cool,
like really good, knows what he's doing. Like, honestly, Dusty has a lot to owes a lot to him because he's really helped him. Because you think like Dusty has a manager, an agent, and a business manager. He's got 3 guys taking the cut, and probably more than that.
Right.
He's probably got an accountant, a money guy too. He's got at least 3 guys taking a piece of every show that he does. Well, maybe not every, but most of the shows he does. But I think that I haven't met his manager or his agent, but his business manager, definitely worth the money. Like, because you think like, man, he's why does he's paying all these people? Why can't one person do this job, or why can't it? But it's working. He's blowing up.
So one of the smartest things is to delegate to expertise.
Yes.
And if somebody is an expert at one thing but not another, that's fine. Let them focus on what they're
good at. And he has picked some guys that are good at what they do.
Yeah.
And it's really helped. And I mean, Christian Bale's favorite comedian is Dusty Slay.
I love that.
Isn't that insane?
That's one of my favorite things.
And a lot of that is due to the guys that he picked to help him, to his managers and agents and stuff. Obviously, it's his work, and it's his face out there, and he's built a persona and a brand and a story and everything, and he has this way of delivering. He's got such a perfect delivery system for his jokes and stuff like that, but picking the right people around him has been a huge part of it.
Yeah,
I don't know if he'd admit that. I don't know if he'd I think he likes to make it seem like it's kind of a grassroots thing, which it is. It's definitely a grassroots thing. It's not like he's in movies except for one. Which they were all in. It's not like he's starring in movies. It's not like he's not like he's on Saturday Night Live. He is literally just a stand-up comic.
Although he has been on Hollywood Squares quite a lot.
Well, actually, it was Nashville Squares.
No,
he was on the Hollywood version too.
So they redid it this within the last year, and
as Hollywood Squares again.
As Hollywood Squares, Drew Barrymore. And,
really?
And all them.
Okay. He was on the real version.
He was on the real version.
Okay, I'll have to watch that.
It wasn't great. Not like he was
good.
He was good. I know part of it's me. I'm not a huge fan of Hollywood Squares. I think it's stupid.
Listen, is Shadow Stevens in it? Because without Shadow Stevens, how can this even be? Shadow Stevens was the center square for years.
Okay,
it was the same guy. I think he was a DJ. Like it was an L.A. DJ personality, and he was the center square through all of its original run. I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Shadow Stevens.
Drew Barrymore is the center square.
Well, already you lost me. If it's not Shadow Stevens, he's probably dead or in jail.
Yeah, just with Drew Barrymore. So
So that's a huge part of it, and that's a huge part of Dusty's success. He was smart enough to pick the right people to work with him. And he's good at delegating and compartmentalizing, and it helps him focus on.
Do you know what one of the big things about? What was I gonna say? One of the big things about Dusty's success is he's a professional speaker.
Yeah. Wait, is that the day?
It is.
Is it Professional Speakers Day or Public Speakers Day?
It's Professional Speakers Day.
Today is Professional Speakers Day. Honestly, our whole podcast has been about it.
Yeah.
We've been talking about professional speakers this entire podcast, so it all fits in theme. We are professional speakers. I own some professional speakers that I use to DJ.
Yeah.
They're not people. That was weird.
No, that's that is okay.
Professional Speaker Day. When it comes to being a professional, let's try to think of every job that you would consider a professional speaker. Obviously, stand-up comic.
Right.
Teacher. Pastor.
Yeah. So here's the thing with like teachers and pastors. That's the part people see, but most of the work is not there. Like I know with stand-up comedians.
Sure, but stand-up comics is the same way.
Yeah,
it's like.
But ours is getting that material and putting.
Yeah, but you get paid for the stuff that you do on stage.
Right. But like pastor, it's like, hey, I'm gonna preach, but most of it's like tending to like the church.
Sure, there's a lot of other stuff involved in that. Same with teacher.
Yeah.
But my wife definitely is a public speaker, like for a profession. Like that's something part of her profession. What else? What's
game show host?
Game show host. An actor. Any kind of actor, anybody who's on TV, news person.
Yeah,
a
stage actor, like a commercial actor. Usually, they might not have many people there. It might not be like public, it's still professional.
Still a professional speaker.
Yeah.
You're still speaking for a profession.
What about a call center person? Because they're talking all day.
True.
And so they're professionally
I guess that makes
speaking.
them a professional speaker.
Yeah, so my degree in college, I've got a bachelor's degree in business communications, which I've made the joke, and this is not a good joke, but it is accurate, that I could stand on a corner and ask people for money, and I'm communicating that I need business.
Sure.
Yeah. So I mean, like it feels like a worthless degree.
I just thought of a professional speaker that we didn't think of.
Yeah.
More worthless than a film degree, you think? In a city with no film industry?
Yeah.
Anyway, those crazy guys that stand on the corner and and just talk crazy stuff and then and panhandle and ask for money.
Yeah. They from some investigative reporting I've seen, they make more money than me sometimes.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I would say, okay, so if we're going by strict definitions, so I guess a call center person is a professional speaker, but they're not getting paid to speak. They're getting paid to solve an issue or accomplish a goal.
So I think the way I would
speaking is part of the job.
Yeah, I think I would define it as speaking to a group of people.
Okay.
Like if
Sure.
if you're talking to a room full of people, you're publicly or professionally speaking. If you're talking to one individual, yes, communication's involved, but that's,
all right. So let's narrow this. So we're narrowing it down to public speaking.
I
so
think
professional public speakers.
I think so.
Where you're talking to a group of people or
politicians.
Politicians, definitely
they're
a professional speaker.
Professional liars.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah,
as far as I've seen.
I mean, I think I can name like 2 politicians that I trust, and that's because I haven't met them personally.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, politicians are definitely professional speakers. What's let's see, what's something? I'm trying to think of something I haven't thought of.
I don't know.
I mean, there's definitely the obvious ones. There are people who are just public speakers for a living.
Hey, did
motivational speakers and stuff like that?
Oh, motivational speakers is a good one because it's not really comedy.
Yeah.
So anybody who does like seminars and stuff like that, okay. Did you ever take a public speaking class in college?
So I did take a public speaking class in college. And actually, it was one of my. I actually enjoyed that class a lot. It was a lot of fun, and there were quite a few assignments we had to do. That I mean, obviously, all of them. Most of our assignments had to be presented to the class because that was the whole point.
Yep.
One of them was to. We had to recite a song or poem. That was one of them. Like read a song or poem to the class. One of them was we had to write a memorized speech. One of them was to. We did a group project where we had to. There was different formats we could choose. We chose talk show format, and then we pretended to be talk show guests on a format. So talk show host. We didn't say that.
Talk show host, no.
Talk show host, professional speaker. So there were a lot of different things, and then there were different. Methods that he taught us about public speaking and things like that. But yeah, all of our projects were saying something in front of the class, basically.
So I also had a public speaking class, and it was one of my absolute favorite classes because I was in there with a bunch of uptight people, and I just got to be me, and I got to be funny. Yeah. And the professor, it was a Scottish guy. I forget his name, but he was a Scottish guy, younger professor at our school. And our first speech in class, we had to do a 4-minute speech on an animal. That's all he told us. So I started off the speech with like some weird screechy sound. And like, does anybody know what that is? That is an aardvark. And I did 4 minutes of completely absurd, oddball facts that I just completely invented, made up about aardvarks.
Oh, so he didn't say like it had to be true.
Oh, he did not say it had to be true at all. I talked about how aardvarks were the heroes of World War II because they snuck behind enemy lines to deliver messages and kill Nazis. It was the professor was laughing so hard he was crying, and the people in the class were wondering how they had to put up with this and if I was going to get kicked out, and most of them were surprised like that I had the highest grade in the class, and because it was a room full of engineers and like high-strung people who were taking it because they had to, and I was taking it because it was part of my general course of study. Oh man.
For me, I was a film major, so public speaking was I think public speaking was one of the electives I could there were certain paths you could take, and it's like you had to take this many classes, and it was on a list of the classes I could take.
Right.
And but we had all kinds of people. Like we had a somebody who was like majoring in like parks, but like she's like, they make us take this class because sometimes we have to do park tours and stuff and things like that. So I thought that was interesting.
Oh, rangers.
Yeah, like that. Like she wanted to be like a park ranger and stuff like that. So there's all kinds of professions that have public speaking in them that you don't even think about.
Right. So park rangers, also my 5th year in college, so it was my second senior year, as I like to say. I had to live off campus. At my school, you couldn't live off campus until you were like a 5th year senior. They wanted you to be on campus, and you could only live in certain places. Well, I was renting like a room, this guy's house, and it was weird. But there were 2 students who lived who went to a different school, also renting a room. But they had to walk through my room to get to their room. It was not an ideal situation. And they were both studying to be park rangers. And one of the things that I absolutely loved about it is they came in one day and they were miserable. Something that happened in their course of study, they had to pepper spray each other just to see how bad it is. And if you can deal like cops do it.
Any profession where any kind of law enforcement, I guess. Right. I guess park rangers could. It's law enforcement. There are certain laws they enforce. But if you want to carry pepper spray, you have to get sprayed with it to be able to carry it.
I just love seeing how miserable they were. I disliked those guys because they had to walk through my room. I did not know them other than them walking through my room. I feel bad about it to this day, but I also have never tried to look them up.
So, do you know Ben Brainerd? Right? Do you know Benjamin Brainerd?
I met him once, but I know
Ben Brainerd,
him,
very good friend of mine. He's since kind of become famous. He has a very, very loyal following. Every time he comes to Jacksonville, he sells out crowds and stuff. And I open for him most of the time when he comes in, which is fun. Which is funny because he was a kid. He was like 18 or 19 when he started doing comedy, and he started a couple years after me, and. He was in the Army for a while. It might have been Army Reserves. I don't remember. But there was like a tear gas training they had to do.
Yes.
Which was rough. But I guess there's a few people that tear gas doesn't affect them the same way. And he's one of those people. I think he tells the story. He has a whole story about it.
Okay.
That he tells. But I guess he was fine for the tear gas thing or whatever, and everybody else was going I had a terrible time with it, and it's like this big deal, and he just was like okay with it. Can't remember exactly.
That's his superpower.
Yeah, that's his superpower. Apparently, he can't be tear gassed. He has a whole story about it. Sorry, I butchered that. Look him up. Benjamin Brainerd. I think he goes by Ben professionally. Ben Brainerd. Really good comic. Really good dude.
I know him as Ben Brainerd, so I guarantee that's.
I think professionally goes by Ben Brainerd.
Yeah.
But look him up. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, sports broadcasters. That's another professional speaker.
Yeah. Ooh, head coaches. They've got to yell.
Coaches have got to do a lot of professional speaking.
They've got to yell at the team a lot.
Yeah. What else? Any other?
Yeah,
I think we got them all. That's all of them.
That's if you're not on this list, you're not a professional public speaker.
Yeah,
that's definitive.
So, a lot of professions involved in professional public speaking. All right. Well, are you doing anything interesting to prepare for our special on Saturday?
So I do have today off of work. So it's Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I've got today off work. I kind of planned it. It's like the last Friday that my son's not in school because school's starting back up for the kids. So we plan on doing lunch with him. But most of the day is going to be me running over the set, taking notes, modifying, correcting, kicking myself in the pants for wanting to change stuff. And then tonight I'm going to be at Third Space Improv where I'm going to do my set that I'm mostly that's going to be the set. And yeah, that's my big preparation besides running around, like making sure we've got water, we've got soda, we've got some snacks backstage, make sure we've got stuff to pay our special guest opener and our camera crew. So
Yeah.
yep.
I decided to start creatine loading.
Okay.
So
Makes
apparently
sense.
creatine is has cognitive benefits.
Okay.
And creatine is mostly used for muscle fatigue. Like you can if you're taking regular creatine, and it used to be like when I was in high school, it was like this new thing. People didn't really know much about it, but people used to think it was like a steroids type of thing. Like you took a bunch of it right away, and and then you went and worked out. But really, what it is you're supposed to, if you want to use it for muscle fatigue. I guess it decreases your recovery time. So
Right.
basically, you can build muscle easier. But you're not supposed to use a lot of it. You're supposed to, if you're doing it for that, you're supposed to take it every day, 5 milligrams.
And it also helps with hydration and water.
It does.
Which is a big part of the muscle thing, which is good because I have to make sure I'm very hydrated, to the point where I'm probably going to need to pee right before I go on stage, because otherwise I will I tend towards bad headaches and stuttering when I'm dehydrated.
So I was worried about mental fatigue and being tired, and it also can help with cognitive abilities and reduce mental fatigue. And I looked up a regimen on what to do. Like, obviously, there's a long-term regimen. You take 5 milligrams a day, and it's kind of a maintenance thing.
Right.
But it's like, what do you do if you've got something coming up in a couple days? So I looked up a regimen to starting yesterday was the first day. You take 10 milligrams over 2 doses. The first day, 15 milligrams over 3 doses. The second day, and on the day of the event, you take 10 milligrams over 2 doses. So you kind of load the doses leading up to the day, and it should reduce mental fatigue for the day.
Nice.
So we'll see if it works.
Yeah, I do take like supplements and things that are supposed to help with that. I was thinking about buying some more of it sounds like it should be illegal, but Magic Mind, which is an herbal supplement. Comedian Pete Holmes talks about it a lot. But that's nice. It's like an extra caffeine boost almost. Like I don't know if it makes me feel more creative or not, and it's all just natural herbs and stuff like that. But I have enjoyed it when I've used it. So I just ran out recently, so
Just in time for the special?
Just in time for the special.
A lot of things are coming together last minute. Like I ordered new beard wax, and it's supposedly coming Saturday morning. So hopefully it gets
Me
here in
too.
time. Yeah.
Just got new beard wax.
So a lot of stuff is coming together. Hopefully it's a good show. Please buy tickets to you can get them for half off right now.
Yep.
At my website, joeynickel.com, or Bobby's website.
BobbyParkerComedy.com.
Please come to the show, 9 p.m.
Or even on Wes's website, HaHaWesJohnson.com.
Yeah.
I feel like I better put that.
We didn't even talk about. They did an article about me on Clay Today.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it the next time.
Yeah.
I'll bring it and we'll talk about it next time.
The aftermath.
Yeah. Anyway, go. Please come to the show. You got any other shows coming up after the special?
I've got several lined up. I'm doing a lot of VFWs and other things that they're technically private shows, and I might be going down to Paper Route soon. So which is one of my favorite spots. But that's that. It hasn't been officially booked yet. I'm just hopeful. So check out my website again, BobbyParkerComedy.com.
Check out our websites for all our dates and deets. I'm doing Mobile, Alabama, August 21st. August 21st, and Niceville, Florida, August 22nd. Come check it out. August 28th, we are doing a show at Flats in Jacksonville. So if you're in the Jacksonville area, August 28th, Flats in Jacksonville, 7:30 show. Come out to that. And, of course, every Monday, come to Shantytown every Monday at 8:30.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Today is whatever we say it is, and you're here for it. I'm Joey Nickel.
I'm Bobby Parker.
See you tomorrow.
Today is whatever they say it is, and we're here for it.